This is Russell.
See how dumb you is?
Oh, you dumb, bro. What's up with your disrespectful shit, bro?
Because you got out of the car with the
I'm not being so shit, bro.
Miami social media is buzzing with reports claiming that Trick Daddy is reportedly stunned after fans started accusing Joy of planning a staged accident against Samantha. According to viral posts and gossip pages, the story has taken an unexpected turn, with viewers debating whether this was a desperate attempt to gain sympathy or a calculated effort to damage Samantha's reputation in Trick Daddy's eyes. Commentators say the rumors didn't appear out of nowhere. They followed a series of confusing signals, emotional talks, an online activity that made fans suspect something darker might be happening behind the scenes. Bloggers are saying that everything looked normal at first, until fans rewatched clips and noticed strange behavior that now seems strategic rather than emotional. According to speculation online, Joy was under pressure, feeling her influence slipping, seeing Samantha get more attention, and noticing Trick Daddy's interest shift from familiar patterns. The audience believes this change triggered intense emotions, making Joy allegedly see Samantha not just as competition, but as a threat that needed to be removed from the spotlight. The claims have viewers shocked, not just because Love and Hip Hop is known for drama, but because this rumor suggests a level of planning that feels personal, heavy, and calculated. People online are analyzing every small detail, insisting that Joy's behavior changed weeks before the alleged setup, as if she was preparing a dramatic story where she would appear hurt and Samantha would become the villain. No one can confirm the story, yet it has fans hooked. Emotions ran high, theories spread fast, and everyone wants to know if these claims are exaggeration or if someone really went too far trying to win Trick Daddy's loyalty. The lines between reality and performance have blurred, leaving viewers waiting for answers that may be bigger than expected. The situation reportedly gained momentum as people started tracking Joy's behavior over time, trying to pinpoint when the shift from emotional conflict to strategic plotting occurred. Fans say Joy seemed unsettled by the attention Samantha was getting, not just from the audience, but from Trick Daddy, who appeared more engaged in conversations unrelated to old issues. Some viewers suggest Joy felt replaced, not only romantically, but socially, as her long-standing position in his life appeared at risk. This fear reportedly created a scenario where she felt compelled to reclaim her influence and remind everyone of her role. Reports say Joy allegedly started framing Samantha as reckless or dramatic, but she did it subtly, with comments that seemed caring rather than accusatory. Fans say this created a psychological setup, making people question Samantha before any major event occurred. Online discussions grew, noting that Joy seemed to be planting ideas, waiting for the right moment to turn them into a story she could control. Observers familiar with reality TV claim this pattern is common, but in this case, it felt deliberate, calculated, and dramatic, with high emotional stakes. According to reports, Samantha didn't suspect any of this and entered the circle with excitement, enjoying Trick Daddy's attention without comparing herself to others. Her carefree energy reportedly attracted viewers, making her appear fresh and authentic. Yet, the more relaxed Samantha seemed, the more tense Joy allegedly became. Unable to stop the shift without appearing insecure or jealous, this emotional struggle supposedly pushed Joy toward indirect tactics rather than direct confrontation. One of the most talked about claims online is that Joy allegedly spread stories portraying Samantha as unpredictable or dangerous, not because she actually was, but to create a believable warning that she could later use. Fans note that phrases like "I just don't want anyone to get hurt" made Joy seem protective instead of controlling, turning her into someone who cared too much rather than someone orchestrating events. Social media analysts highlight that this only works if the person appears vulnerable. Joy reportedly leaned into exhaustion, disappointment, and heartbreak, creating a sympathetic image. Screenshots allegedly show her venting to friends about feeling betrayed and misunderstood. shifting public perception to view her as a victim while casting Samantha as the aggressor. Even though Samantha hadn't initiated any conflict publicly, people close to the situation reportedly noticed rising tension, but avoided intervening because emotions were already unstable and friendships felt fragile. Rumors, speculation, and exaggerated reactions grew until the story developed a momentum of its own. Viewers scrutinized every interaction, interpreting gestures, comments, and silences as evidence of conflict. Even when nothing major happened, fan recaps suggest Trick Daddy wasn't initially aware of any manipulation and didn't realize a narrative was being shaped around him. He reportedly thought the tension was standard reality TV drama and didn't understand that audiences were constructing a story casting him as the prize, whose attention could elevate one person and damage another depending on who controlled the emotional plot. When the rumor about a staged accident began spreading, fans pointed to earlier moments that suddenly made sense in hindsight. Joy reportedly spoke often about fear, danger, and instability long before any incident, as if foreshadowing a crisis that would later support her narrative. Viewers argued this wasn't coincidental, but a strategy to make a sudden event appear authentic and inevitable. Samantha, reportedly unaware of these theories, continued interacting naturally, building friendships and enjoying attention, not realizing her behavior was being interpreted as part of a larger story. Some fans called her naive, others genuine, saying she didn't grasp the political and psychological dynamics of the environment. Her openness allegedly made her vulnerable to a narrative where she was cast as a villain before realizing a game was being played. Online discussion evolved into debates about motive, desperation, and how far people might go to maintain influence, love, or identity where perception matters most. Fans questioned if Joy's actions were driven by fear of losing, Trick Daddy, anger, or survival instinct. The deeper the speculation went, the more intense the situation became, turning a rumor into a psychological drama that captivated audiences. Samantha's single quotes as confession video reportedly shocked fans. Because this drama was no longer just on-screen tension, social media chatter claimed Joy had orchestrated the scenario to manipulate Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy reportedly spent hours silent, his face showing disbelief and shock, as if he couldn't process that someone close to him might plan something so extreme. Fans said his reaction reflected the weight of a betrayal that could affect relationships and public image alike. According to viral discussions, Joy allegedly tried to convince mutual friends and social circle members that Samantha was exaggerating, framing the situation as an unfortunate accident. But observers argued that the way Joy spoke sounded staged, emotionally charged, and carefully timed. Posts online claimed that Samantha described moments where Joy allegedly tampered with her car, leaving brakes less responsive and creating a tense moment that appeared like a near accident. Social media users reportedly dissected every frame, and comment convinced that Joy's intentions were more than protective, more strategic than emotional, and that every gesture was part of a plan. Fans reportedly noted that Joy's approach to the situation was subtle yet manipulative. She allegedly spread narratives suggesting that Samantha was reckless and unpredictable, giving her own warnings a sense of authenticity. Commentators claimed that Joy used emotional language, like "I just don't want anyone to get hurt," to frame herself as the caring figure while casting Samantha in a shadow of suspicion. According to reports, this type of emotional framing made it easier for audiences to accept any subsequent incident as logical, believable. According to observers, Joy reportedly leaned into vulnerability as part of the narrative. Screenshots and clips circulating online showed her expressing exhaustion, disappointment, and heartbreak to friends, creating a persona of the sympathetic, wronged party. Fans insisted that this portrayal amplified the story, making it appear as though Samantha was the instigator. when in reality, the alleged setup and emotional manipulation were attributed to Joy's calculated strategy. Reports say that the environment around the cast was charged with tension, and people close to the situation were reportedly hesitant to intervene, because any involvement risked making them targets of gossip or speculation. Every action and interaction was scrutinized, and fans reportedly became investigators, analyzing body language, verbal cues, and even pauses in conversation. Minor gestures were interpreted as evidence of intent. Minor comments turned into proof, and silence became a weapon in the perceived psychological game. Social media sources reportedly emphasized that Trick Daddy initially remained unaware of the full scope of the narrative. Commentators suggested that he believed the tension was typical reality TV drama, but online discussions constructed a narrative where he was the central motivation for every action. According to these reports, Trick Daddy became a prize in a story where loyalty, attention, and affection could be manipulated depending on who controlled the emotional narrative. As the staged accident rumor gained traction, viewers reportedly began re-examining previous interactions. According to fan speculation, Joy's prior comments about fear, danger, and instability were interpreted as foreshadowing, setting up a storyline where she would appear protective and Samantha would seem reckless. Fans analyzed video clips frame by frame, noting expressions, gestures, and timing that allegedly supported the idea of a premeditated narrative. Samantha, reportedly unaware of the brewing theories, continued interacting with the cast naturally, building rapport and enjoying the attention she was receiving. Fans described her as genuine and carefree, unaware that online narratives were shaping perceptions in ways she hadn't anticipated. Commentators argued that her authenticity made her an easy target for the narrative that portrayed her as manipulative or dangerous, even though she had no involvement in the planning that was allegedly attributed to Joy. Online discussions, reportedly, focused heavily on motive and psychological pressure. Fans debated whether Joy's alleged actions were driven by fear of being replaced, jealousy, or an attempt to reclaim attention and authority. The speculation intensified as followers compared subtle behaviors and statements, constructing a complex psychological portrait of manipulation, strategy, and emotional influence. Each theory added to the perception of a deep, ongoing conflict that extended beyond the camera lens. According to speculation, Joy's alleged strategy reportedly relied on Trick Daddy's reactions, knowing that his emotional responses could validate or discredit the story. Viewers noted moments where Trick Daddy seemed confused, withdrawn, and uncertain, which reportedly played right into the narrative. Commentators said that a silent or hesitant reaction could be interpreted as guilt or indecision, making Joy's framing more persuasive to the audience. The alleged tactics reportedly included emotional framing, selective disclosure, and carefully timed gestures. Fans claimed that Joy's reactions were performative yet subtle, blending tears, concern, and outrage in a way that created credibility for her narrative while casting doubt on Samantha. The community reportedly dissected every clip, noting micro-expressions, hand movements, speech patterns that suggested calculation rather than genuine panic. Amara and Shay reportedly weighed in with their perspectives, providing additional layers of analysis. Amara was described as empathetic towards Samantha, acknowledging her fear and discomfort, but cautious about declaring Joy's actions malicious without concrete proof. Shay, however, reportedly interpreted Joy's behavior as manipulative, citing historical possessiveness and previous attempts to control attention and influence Trick Daddy's emotions. Their perspectives created fan debate, with viewers analyzing both sides and constructing theories about loyalty, strategy, and the truth behind the rumored accident. As the speculation deepened, online communities reportedly became obsessed with determining what was real. Fans compared public statements, behind-the-scenes interactions, and subtle behavioral cues, According to reports, every online post, comment, and video snippet was scrutinized for hints of truth, creating an environment where rumors could spread rapidly and seemingly minor details gained outsized significance. Audiences reportedly became detectives, constructing a narrative that balanced emotional manipulation, strategic planning, and the complex interplay of jealousy and influence. Reports also suggested that Trick Daddy's position as the central figure added intensity to the scenario. Fans reportedly observed that his reactions, whether verbal or nonverbal, shaped public perception, influencing how Joy and Samantha were portrayed. Commentators noted that his silence, confusion, and rare moments of engagement created openings for narrative interpretation, allowing each observer to decide whether he was aware, manipulated, or inadvertently complicit in the emerging storyline. The online community reportedly concluded that the combination of fear, jealousy, and strategy created a story that was compelling, emotional, and psychologically layered. Fans insisted that every subtle gesture, emotional reaction, and verbal cue added depth to the narrative, making it appear as though Joy had carefully orchestrated events to maximize impact. According to posts, the perceived manipulation, emotional tension, and high stakes kept audiences engaged and emotionally invested, turning a rumor into a spectacle that dominated fan conversations and social media feeds as the online frenzy intensified. Viewers reportedly began focusing on the relationships between Joy, Samantha, and Trick Daddy in ways that went beyond surface-level drama. According to fan speculation, Joy's alleged behavior wasn't limited to the supposed accident incident. She was reportedly constantly monitoring Samantha, tracking her interactions with Trick Daddy and using subtle emotional cues to influence perception. Social media commentators claimed that every smile, glance, or offhand comment became fodder for analysis, turning what might have been normal social interactions into a complex battlefield of strategy, jealousy, and control. Fans argued that Joy's alleged tactics had a dual purpose: to assert dominance over Samantha, while also positioning herself as the central, sympathetic figure in Trick Daddy's life. Rumors also suggested that the intensity of the situation was amplified by Trick Daddy's visible reactions. Online sources said that he appeared conflicted, caught between concern for Joy, sympathy for Samantha, and the pressure of public perception. His pauses, tone, and hesitations during conversations were reportedly dissected by fans who claimed to detect subtle shifts in allegiance or hidden judgments. Commentators theorized that Trick Daddy's emotional vulnerability made him the perfect focal point for a narrative that cast Joy as a strategic manipulator and Samantha as the unsuspecting target. Posts online described him as bewildered, caught in a web he hadn't anticipated, and unsure how to respond without inflaming tensions further. According to discussions, Samantha's perspective added another layer of complexity. She reportedly continued to display authenticity, sharing her genuine feelings about her experiences and interactions with Joy. Fans praised her apparent honesty and perceived her emotional transparency as a stark contrast to Joy's alleged strategic behavior. Viewers speculated that this contrast created a dramatic tension that was hard to ignore. The unfiltered newcomer versus the allegedly calculating veteran, each vying for Trick Daddy's attention, and each representing different forms of emotional appeal to the audience. Social media commentators reportedly noticed a pattern in Joy's alleged actions. Posts highlighted instances where Joy seemed to anticipate reactions, preparing narratives in advance that could be deployed at crucial moments. Fans claimed that Joy's manipulation appeared methodical, almost tactical, with a focus on controlling how others interpreted her intentions. Allegedly, she planted emotional cues, used body language strategically, and selectively shared information to create suspense, uncertainty, and doubt. Viewers described the alleged strategy as sophisticated, combining elements of performance, emotional manipulation, and timing to influence both the cast and the audience simultaneously, according to viral threads. The supposed accident itself became a turning point in public perception. Fans insisted that the moment when Joy reportedly caused the brakes to feel unresponsive created a high-stakes scenario that forced everyone to react emotionally. Commentators said that the intensity of the moment amplified the drama, making Joy's actions appear intentional in hindsight, whether or not that was true. The suspense, fear, and subsequent interactions were analyzed endlessly, with every detail interpreted as evidence supporting the narrative of manipulation and calculated control. Amara and Shay's reported reactions contributed to the story's complexity. Sources claim that Amara tried to mediate, emphasizing empathy and caution, suggesting that intentions couldn't be fully known and that emotional pressure might distort perceptions. Shay, on the other hand, was described as more analytical and assertive, arguing that Joy's history of possessiveness and strategic influence over Trick Daddy made her actions suspect. Fan discussions reportedly highlighted this dynamic as a representation of two approaches to conflict: emotional understanding versus critical analysis, both of which shaped how audiences interpreted the unfolding events. Online speculation extended to the broader implications of the alleged incident. Posts and comments reportedly questioned whether Joy's actions were symptomatic of deeper insecurities, past experiences, or a desire to maintain influence over Trick Daddy's emotional sphere. Viewers argued that the intersection of personal history, social dynamics, and competitive positioning created a volatile environment where any small incident could escalate into a full-blown narrative of drama, betrayal, and conflict. Commentators insisted that the combination of fear, jealousy, and strategic thinking made the alleged scenario plausible in the eyes of the audience, fueling further speculation and debate. Fans reportedly began analyzing prior episodes, conversations, and off-camera interactions to find patterns supporting the theory that Joy was orchestrating events. Screenshots, clips, and timestamps were shared widely, with interpretations ranging from emotional preparation to subtle manipulations designed to heighten tension. According to these analyses, every gesture, comment, or pause became a potential clue, and the supposedly staged accident served as a dramatic catalyst that brought underlying tensions to the surface. Viewers claimed that this retrospective examination made the story feel inevitable, as if the incident were the natural outcome of ongoing dynamics rather than a single isolated event. The rumored fallout, according to social media reports, also affected Trick Daddy's relationships beyond Joy and Samantha. Fans observed that his interactions with other cast members, friends, and acquaintances reportedly shifted, with some sources claiming that he became more guarded, hesitant, and analytical in his responses. Commentators argued that this change in behavior intensified the emotional stakes for everyone involved, because Trick Daddy's reactions could validate or undermine the narratives being constructed around Joy and Samantha. Posts highlighted his expressions, tone, and body language as key indicators of alignment, sympathy, and judgment, making him a central figure in the ongoing analysis. According to fan speculation, Joy reportedly used the attention and controversy to consolidate her position, framing herself as both a survivor of misunderstanding and a strategic player navigating complex social dynamics. Viewers argued that the alleged combination of vulnerability, performance, and manipulation created a compelling, emotionally charged story that captivated audiences. The narrative reportedly encouraged fans to scrutinize every detail, from casual remarks to emotional outbursts, in search of hidden motives, authenticity, and signs of intentional influence. Samantha single quotes his response, largely authentic and grounded in observable emotion. Fans claim that her genuine reactions, emotional transparency, and perceived honesty contrasted with Joy's alleged strategic positioning, making the dynamic more engaging and dramatic. Commentators suggested that this juxtaposition authenticity Versus calculation amplified the tension and made the rumored events feel more intense. As audiences debated who was acting, who was being manipulated, and who truly held the moral high ground in the unfolding story. Reports say that the allegedly staged incident and the surrounding speculation sparked a broader discussion about trust, manipulation, and the blurred lines between performance and reality. Fans reportedly questioned how personal history, jealousy, and strategic thinking intersected with emotional relationships, shaping perceptions of truth and intention. Commentators suggested that the situation created a layered psychological drama, where motivations were debated endlessly, evidence was scrutinized intensely, and public opinion shifted rapidly depending on new details, interpretations, and emotional narratives. As the speculation persisted, social media reportedly became a hub for theories, debates, and analyses. Posts highlighted subtle behavioral cues, verbal inconsistencies, and emotional performances, creating a sense of suspense that kept audiences engaged for hours. Fans were reportedly divided, some siding with Joy and viewing her actions as defensive or strategic, others defending Samantha and emphasizing her authenticity and victimization. Commentators claimed that this split intensified engagement as viewers sought to piece together the truth and anticipate the next dramatic moment, whether it involved clarifications, confrontations, or new revelations, as the alleged fallout from the staged accident continued. Fan speculation reportedly reached a fever pitch, with every social media post, reaction video, and comment dissected for hidden meaning. Viewers were reportedly analyzing Trick Daddy's expressions, tone, and body language for signs of alignment, sympathy, or judgment. According to posts, his apparent confusion and hesitation only fueled debates, with fans claiming that Joy had successfully placed him at the center of a narrative she could manipulate for maximum emotional impact. Some argued that Trick Daddy's silence was evidence of his awareness, while others insisted it reflected genuine shock and uncertainty. Further complicating the rumor mill, online commentary suggested that Joy's alleged strategy included timing, framing, and emotional escalation, all designed to cast Samantha in a negative light while preserving her own image. Fans reportedly dissected moments where Joy allegedly shared subtle warnings or veiled concerns, arguing that her behavior was calculated to make any incident appear believable. While maintaining her facade as the concerned party, viewers were convinced that every tear, sigh, and pause was orchestrated to control the story, shaping both Trick Daddy's perception and public opinion simultaneously. According to reports, Samantha maintained her authenticity despite the swirling controversy. Her genuine reactions, emotional openness, and candid reflections contrasted with Joy's allegedly strategic displays, creating a dramatic tension that captivated audiences. Commentators claimed that the juxtaposition of sincerity versus manipulation heightened the stakes, encouraging viewers to choose sides, speculate motives, and imagine the underlying power dynamics at play. Fans reportedly spent hours replaying interactions, comparing expressions, and analyzing vocal inflections to determine who was acting, who was being influenced, and who truly held emotional control. Amara and Shay were reportedly critical in shaping fan perceptions. Amara, empathetic yet cautious, emphasized that intentions could not be fully known, urging audiences to consider context and avoid snap judgments. Shay, more analytical, highlighted historical behavior and patterns, suggesting that Joy's possessiveness and influence over Trick Daddy made her alleged actions plausible. Their differing perspectives reportedly created a layered discourse among viewers, encouraging debates about psychology, manipulation, and the subtle art of influence within social circles. The alleged staged accident reportedly became a turning point, intensifying drama both on-screen and online. Fans claimed that the combination of fear, emotional escalation, and public visibility made the incident seem larger than life. Whether or not it was intentional, Commentary suggested that Joy's behavior before and after the alleged crash reinforced the perception of calculation. Her interactions were observed, analyzed, and interpreted as part of a broader narrative designed to assert dominance, control, attention, and shape perceptions. Viewers reportedly debated the authenticity of each gesture, with some interpreting her as a victim of circumstance and others seeing a masterful manipulator. Trick Daddy's reported reactions amplified the tension. Fans said his hesitation, silence, and occasional engagement provided openings for multiple interpretations, making him a key player in the narrative. Online commentary highlighted moments where he appeared conflicted, unsure whether to confront Joy, protect Samantha, or navigate the opinions of a public audience. Some posts suggested that his vulnerability was exploited, while others claimed that his inaction reflected an inability to fully grasp the alleged plot. Either way, his presence reportedly heightened suspense and made the rumored storyline more compelling. Online fan communities reportedly became investigative hubs, analyzing every post, comment, and clip for evidence supporting the staged accident theory. Viewers cross-referenced timestamps, reviewed previous episodes, and speculated about emotional cues, creating an elaborate framework in which each piece of information could support a narrative of manipulation, jealousy, and emotional strategy. Commentators claimed that even minor inconsistencies, pauses, or expressions were interpreted as subtle signals of intention, further feeding the discussion and intensifying engagement. According to speculation, Joy allegedly used emotional framing to maintain audience sympathy while simultaneously positioning Samantha as the potential instigator. Posts highlighted the use of body language, verbal cues, and timing to craft an image of concern, fear, and vulnerability, which fans reportedly compared against Samantha's authenticity. This contrast reportedly created a psychological battle in which audiences were constantly evaluating motives, emotions, and credibility. Social media commentary suggested that the tension between perceived strategy and genuine emotion drove both speculation and engagement, keeping the rumor alive. And circulating Amara's single quotes observations provided context for interpreting interactions. She allegedly emphasized the complexity of human behavior, cautioning that appearances can be misleading, and that stress, fear, and environmental pressures often distort perceptions. Shea, in contrast, reportedly framed the situation as a study of influence and manipulation, pointing to behavioral patterns and historical context to justify suspicion. Fans reportedly responded to this dual perspective by debating both emotional nuance and analytical reasoning, increasing the depth of conversation surrounding the alleged staged incident. Viewers reportedly noted that the alleged accident and surrounding drama sparked broader discussions about trust, manipulation, and the blurred lines between performance and reality. Commentators claimed that the interplay of personal history, jealousy, and strategic thinking created a scenario in which even minor incidents could be magnified into major narrative arcs. According to posts, this psychological complexity combined with the high visibility of Trick Daddy, Joy, and Samantha created a compelling, emotionally charged environment that encouraged speculation, debate, and engagement on a massive scale. Fans reportedly became obsessed with understanding the full implications of the rumored plot. Analysis reportedly included detailed comparisons of social media posts, video footage, and verbal interactions, each examined for hints of motive, authenticity, and emotional intent. Online discussions allegedly focused on interpreting emotional performances, discerning subtle manipulations, and predicting possible confrontations or resolutions. Viewers reportedly debated every action, looking for confirmation of either Joy's alleged strategy or Samantha's authenticity, transforming speculation into a continuous, interactive narrative. According to fan reports, the alleged scenario had lasting effects on Trick Daddy's interactions. Commentators said his perceived vulnerability and emotional sensitivity became focal points, influencing how other cast members behaved and responded. Posts highlighted that his reactions could validate, undermine, or complicate the narratives of Joy and Samantha, further entangling relationships in a web of psychological and emotional tension. Viewers reportedly watched closely, analyzing the implications of each word, expression, and gesture for clues about alignment, influence, and loyalty. The overall narrative reportedly emphasized emotional stakes, manipulation, and the intersection of personal history with strategic behavior. Fans argued that Joy's alleged actions, whether intentional or perceived, created a compelling story that blended fear, jealousy, and ambition. Samantha's apparent authenticity provided a counterpoint, reinforcing the drama and prompting audiences to continually reevaluate motives and alliances. Commentators suggested that this interplay of perceived strategy, emotional response, and audience engagement drove the sustained interest. Speculation and discussion surrounding the alleged incident. Reports said that the combination of emotional intensity, public visibility, and interpersonal dynamics made the alleged incident feel larger than life. Viewers reportedly engaged in ongoing analysis, comparing gestures, expressions, verbal cues to reconstruct the story, assess intentions, and debate authenticity. Fan communities allegedly treated the situation as a psychological puzzle, combining elements of human behavior, emotional manipulation, and narrative construction to evaluate the plausibility of the alleged staged accident. So, what do you think about this shocking revelation? Did Joy really go too far by allegedly plotting a fake accident? Or is Samantha's side of the story exaggerated for drama? Fans are divided, emotions ran high, and the family and cast were reportedly left completely shaken by what might have happened behind the scenes. Trick Daddy's reaction has left everyone questioning loyalties, intentions, and who can really be trusted in this tangled web of love, jealousy, and strategy. We want to hear from you. Could this have been a calculated move by Joy to manipulate Trick Daddy? Or was it just a misunderstanding, blown out of proportion? Share your opinions in the comments, because this drama is far from over, and your take could shed light on what really went down. Did Samantha handle the situation with the honesty and courage fans are praising? Or is there more beneath the surface that we haven't seen yet? Make sure you like this video if you were shocked by these claims. Subscribe for more explosive reality TV updates. And hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest twists, confrontations, and shocking reveals from your favorite cast members. Join the conversation. Weigh in on who you think is telling the truth. And stay tuned, because with this much drama, anything could happen next. And fans everywhere are watching every moment unfold. Your voice matters. So comment below and let us know where you stand in this intense reality TV showdown.